Yeah.
Lincoln Riley is out, which means he's a brand new #1 coach in the Big 12. The million-dollar question, though, is who is it? So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Today, we are ranking all of the Big 12 coaches heading into this upcoming college football season. But before we get to the rankings, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. We want you guys to become a part of what we're building here at the Gridiron Expert. We want you to become a part of the GE Nation so you don't miss out on any of the content we have for you going forward. We provide some of the best college football news, predictions, analysis, and debates in the country, and we want you to be a part of it. So let's go ahead and start debating right now. We're going to jump into our Big 12 coaching rankings, starting at number 10, working from the bottom up. And coming in at number 10, Neal Brown at West Virginia. And that might be a shock to some because there are a couple of new coaches in the Big 12 this year, and we're choosing a guy that's been at a program for 3 years as last in the conference. Here's the thing. Neal Brown, he's 17-18 in 3 years with West Virginia. He does have 2 bowl appearances, but last year's 6-7 record and abysmal performance in that bowl game against Minnesota, it was disappointing. It was very disappointing. And now, going into year 4, if West Virginia doesn't have a big year, if they don't get back to a bowl game, if they don't win maybe 7 or 8 games, Neal Brown could be out of Morgantown. So he really needs to be hoping that new addition of JT Daniels helps him out big time and maybe ultimately saves him job. Coming in at number 9, we have Joey McGuire at Texas Tech. If you watched our coaching grades earlier in this offseason, you know we weren't too impressed with Joey McGuire. Many will say they disagree with us on that because he's an excellent recruiter, and that he is. He is an excellent recruiter, but can he begin to build up this Texas Tech program? He spent 13 years as a head coach at a high school, Cedar Hills High School in Texas, going 141-42 with 3 state championships. Extremely impressive, no doubt about it. But he's only been at the FBS level since 2017, and he has not served as a head coach in any capacity, has not even served as a coordinator in any capacity, has been with the Baylor Bears in the Big 12 since 2017. So he has no prior head coaching experience. He is a phenomenal recruiter and will recruit the state of Texas extremely well. But can he get the wins on the field? That's the million-dollar question, and we'll begin to see that take place not just now, but certainly in 2023. Coming in at number 8, Lance Lippold at Kansas. Lippold, some people have him ranked as one of the best coaches, not just in the conference, but in the country. And I'm not going to go too far yet, but Lippold has a very impressive track record. He turned around Buffalo extremely quickly in the MAC, going 37-33 there. He also went 109-6 at Wisconsin Whitewater from 2007 to 2014. That's what got him his big break at the FBS level. Did well at Buffalo, and last year, his first year at Kansas, he went 2-10, but one of those wins was a road win at Texas. Kansas is in major rebuild mode. They have been for over a decade now. This is a major project that no one can expect high expectations from Lance Lippold in. However, going 2-10, looking competitive at times last year, winning a road game at Austin shows signs of hope. And Lance Lippold, to me, is not even in the upper half of Big 12 coaches, but he could find himself there in the span of just a few years. Coming in at number 7, Steve Sarkisian at Texas. You really want this guy to be higher on the list, but we can't put him there. He's a great offensive mind, but he's just mediocre as a head coach. And that doesn't just date to his time at Texas. This dates back to his time at Washington. 34-29 during his time with the Huskies. Just 12-6 during his time with USC. 5-7 in his lone year at Texas, making year 2 a must-win year. He needs a big year with the Longhorns in 2022. He's recruited well. They've got a star quarterback in Quinn Ewers coming in. They need to win big, 8 or 9 wins, maybe even in the Big 12 championship for Sarkisian to keep his job in Austin. Because another mediocre, underperforming year, he will be out as the head coach of the Longhorns. And right now he finds himself at 7th in the conference. In at number 6, Sonny Dykes at TCU. He did a phenomenal job turning around this SMU football program, going 30-18 during his time there, including 25-10 from 2019 to 2021. Like many of the coaches in the Big 12, Dykes is a phenomenal offensive mind. He's a guy that knows the state of Texas, having coached there now and during his time at SMU. And I believe he's a guy that's going to recruit well at TCU, bring some solid offense back, and start to restore this program to what it used to be under Gary Patterson before it has kind of quickly fallen off over these last few years. Dykes has coached at Louisiana Tech, California, SMU, and now TCU. Been mediocre all of those stops. And while we're not expecting him to be great, those previous experiences and being able to accumulate some wins there puts him at number 6 in the Big 12, right outside the top half of the conference. We now do enter the top 5 of the conference, though, the top half of the Big 12. And coming in at number 5, we have Chris Klieman at Kansas State. This guy, to me, is extremely underrated. He won 4 national championships in 5 years at North Dakota State at the FCS level. Again, I don't care what level you're at, that's extremely impressive. 4 national championships in 5 years. And in 3 years in Manhattan with Kansas State, he is 20-16 with 2 8-5 seasons to his name. He does have that 1 4-6 season, but we're cutting him a little slack because that was in that 2020 COVID year. They concluded 2021 with a Texas Bowl victory over LSU. In 2022, possibly, could be his best year yet since he arrived in Manhattan. Again, 2 8-5 seasons, nothing to frown about during his time at Kansas State. Klieman is slowly working his way up this list. And at number 4, Brent Venables at Oklahoma. Many will say, how can a guy who has never been a head coach before be ranked 4th on this list of best coaches within a conference? Brent Venables is not your ordinary coach, guys. He is not just any ordinary coach. This is a guy that, first off, is one of the best defensive minds in the country. He is a guy that, over the course of his career, has participated, coached in 8 national championships. 8 national championships during his time with both Oklahoma, under Bob Stoops, and Clemson with Dabo Swinney. He has coached in over 30 bowl games. Great defensive mind, knows Oklahoma well because of the time he spent there earlier in his career. And let's keep this in mind too, guys. Bob Stoops, Barry Switzer, and Bud Wilkinson, all legendary Oklahoma football coaches, never had prior head coaching experiences before taking over the Sooners. And I would say all of them did pretty dang well during their time in Norman. Brent Venables at number 4 on our list. We now get to the top 3. Coming in at 3, Dave Aranda at Baylor. He's entering just his 3rd year as a head coach. 3rd year at Baylor, 3rd year as a head coach overall. But he's fresh off a 12-2 season, leading the Bears to a Big 12 championship and winning the Sugar Bowl over Ole Miss for Baylor's first New Year's Day Bowl victory since 1957. Unbelievable in year 2, going from 2-7 to year 1 and 12-2 in year 2. Year 3, expectations are even higher, and Baylor absolutely could be in the college football playoff. They are absolutely a favorite to win the Big 12 again in 2022, but could be in the playoff, like we mentioned earlier this week in our college football playoff sleepers video. We're now down to our top 2. Coming in at number 2, guys, Matt Campbell at Iowa State. That is our 2nd-ranked coach in the Big 12. Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Unreal job that he has done in Ames. Last year was very disappointing. Iowa State going 7-6. Many had the Cyclones as Big 12 title contenders, maybe even a playoff contender, and yet they faltered and fell to 7-6. But Campbell is 42-34 during his time at Iowa State, which is a span of 6 years. He has a Big 12 title appearance already, and they won the Fiesta Bowl just a few years ago. He's also led Iowa State to 5 straight bowl appearances and 5 straight winning seasons. To put this in perspective, guys, Matt Campbell, 42 wins in the last 6 years. Iowa State had just 41 wins between 2006 and 2015 with just 1 winning season. Matt Campbell has 5 straight winning seasons during his time in Ames. He has done an unbelievable job transforming this program, and while they lose a lot of key starters from last year, while Iowa State may struggle a little bit in 2022, they will remain contenders in the Big 12 as long as he is on the sideline. So coming in at number 1, guys, the new number 1 head coach in the Big 12, it is another Oklahoma coach. It's Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. If Lincoln Riley was still at Oklahoma, he would be our number 1. Mike Gundy would have been right behind him. And yet here he is now, moving up a spot to the top-ranked coach in the conference. He is the most experienced coach in the entire Big 12, and I would put him up there as one of the best coaches in the country. He has been at Oklahoma State since 2005. He's 149-69 during his career in Stillwater, has 7 double-digit win seasons. He has a Big 12 title to his name. He also has 2 Fiesta Bowl victories to his name, including one just this last year when they defeated Notre Dame and finished the year at 12-2. Oklahoma State has had at least 7 wins every single year under Mike Gundy, except for his first year back in 2005. The million-dollar question is, can he ever win the Big 12 again? He has not won the Big 12 since 2011. They nearly won it this last year in 2021. And will Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State ever break through and make the college football playoff? They fell short right shortly after 2010. Nearly made the national championship game, but fell to Iowa State, which ultimately kept them out. LSU and Alabama played in that national championship game. They would have made the playoff this last year more than likely had they been able to take down Baylor. Would have been very close, at least by the committee, but they fell to them in the Big 12 championship game. Gundy and Oklahoma State are consistently one of the better teams in the country and consistently in the hunt for a Big 12 title, but will they ever get over the hump and win that title? Or will they ever get over the hump and make the playoff? Regardless, guys, Gundy is number 1, and he will remain there until proven otherwise. So, guys, there you have it, our Big 12 coaching rankings heading into this upcoming season. We want to hear from you. Let's debate. Give us your rankings down in the comments below. Who deserves to be first? Who deserves to be last? And everything in between. How would you rank the Big 12 coaches? Let's start talking down in the comments. But until then, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. And again, become a part of what we're building here at the Gridiron Expert. Become a part of our GE Nation, so you don't miss out on any of the content we have for you going forward. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.